Yo, what is up everybody? It's the original Grown B, and thank you for using your technological competence to navigate yourself to this video. This is my very first swarm. For those of the other commentators who are making a big deal about the swarm, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not a good player, so if I can get a swarm, pretty much anybody can. All I did was set up the kill streaks that every other commentator used. I just didn't use the PDW, and I didn't get it on raid like everybody else. But this gameplay is it's actually boring to me. I get a little campy, and the reason why is because I can't honestly go out and just expect to have fair one-on-one encounters in this game like it's been in the past games. So when I get on kill streaks, you know, I tend to camp a little bit more, but it's not crazy hardcore camping like you truly see in the Call of Duty, like last couple of Call of Duties, just the way people try to play to get those kill streaks. But anyway, today I want to say I watched a video a while back, Wings of Redemption. I'm not a there's not a lot of commentators that I watch daily or anything, but you know, I just happened to check out this Wings of Redemption video, and he was talking about telekinesis and who has basically the strongest telekinesis, and he brought up Pokemon, he brought up Chronicle the movie, brought up Phoenix, Jean Grey, and you know, that struck a nerve to remember a conversation that I had back with my family. I think about last Thanksgiving, or maybe it was the Thanksgiving before. But it was just a question that I just sprouted up and asked. Here's the way I love fiction things, like, you know, I love the idea of, like, you know, stuff like Dragon Ball Z. I love Dragon Ball Z. I like you know, DC. I like Marvel. But what I like about it is I like for, you know, a writer to take, you know, his own logic, not necessarily abiding by the logic that we live by, but taking his own logic and building a world around that, but still being true to the logic that he has created. And by that I mean, let's say Superman, defining Superman's ability to fly. If you were going to define what actually happens when Superman flies, now if you were to define that by saying, oh, Superman jumps onto the air and walks on it, if that's your definition of Superman flying, then Superman would not be able to fly in space. And if you showed me an episode or a comic strip where Superman was flying in space, I would say, by your Superman logic, you're not really making sense to me. So that's what I mean by creating your own logic and staying true to it. And a while back, I was just wondering to myself about mind reading and what it really is, what's really going on when one is reading another person's mind. And my first instinct was, well, if you don't speak the same language as the person's mind that you are trying to read, then it would mean nothing, and you really wouldn't be able to read their mind. Because when I think in English. So I assume that other speakers think in their language. It's not that I think with pictures, I think with words. So if I were to think in English and you didn't speak that, then your mind reading powers would fail you in terms of trying to read someone's mind that didn't speak the same language as you. Am I right? Or am I wrong? And that's one thing that I've just been struggling with every time I think about mind reading and what it is. Now, at the same time, is mind reading just suddenly giving you the power to understand every language known to man? Is that what mind reading just kind of throws at you? Just gives you the ability to understand every language? I don't necessarily think so. Here's another question that should pose to you in your mind when you think of mind reading. Is there a difference between mind reading and reading someone's thoughts? And what I'm saying about the language, is that only applying to reading someone's thoughts? Because maybe it's that the fact that my thoughts are in English. Because here's the thing, if I'm going to say, because I got to the point where I was like, wait a second, I was wondering if babies think. Like, for a second I said, wait, well, okay, well, so do babies think? Because at that point, they don't have a language. Babies don't have a language that they abide by. So when they think, what is it that they're thinking with? What is it that they're thinking in? By the logic that I placed forth, saying that people think in the language that they speak, it wouldn't apply there because babies don't have a language yet, and thus me saying that they think in whatever language they speak wouldn't apply there, or it would mean that babies wouldn't think because they yet to obtain a language. So it boggles my mind to really grasp what this is. Reading someone's thoughts, I guess I'm trying to say that reading someone's thoughts might abide by that logic of you know, what language they speak. And then reading someone's mind is really actually interpreting what that person is. Man, I'm trying to, I wish I knew what I was trying to put together, because now I'm thinking that someone's mind and someone's thoughts are two different things. Now, maybe our mind is the way we interpret and accept and decode the world. Maybe that's what our mind is. The way we decode the messages that we receive, whether it be with any of our five senses. Maybe that's what our mind is. And when you're reading someone's mind, you are decoding, I guess, or you're able to use whatever they use to decode the messages that they receive through observation, which is the five senses. Maybe that's what that is. Maybe that's what the quote-unquote mind is. But as far as thoughts, I really do think that thoughts depend on what language you speak. Thoughts are what you say in your mind, the songs that you sing in your head, you know, the stuff you say to yourself, the process that you go through when you're going on a kill streak and you don't want to die, or just stuff like that. Maybe those are what your thoughts are, and maybe your thoughts are in your language, but maybe your mind is something that is basically decoding all the messages that you receive through your five senses, and maybe it doesn't really matter what language you speak, because the deciding factor of this for me, what really shakes up my thoughts of what mind reading really is the fact that babies don't have a language, but I cannot honestly say that babies don't think. So let me know what y'all think. If you took the time to watch this video, please leave a comment and let me know what you think about mind reading. If I could read someone's mind and they don't speak the same language as me, am I really going to understand what I'm looking into their mind and basically extracting or reading, whatever you might think? So let me know what y'all think. The Original Grown B is out, and I will see y'all on the next one.